Hi, I'm Anthony, founder at Seedlegals, and every day I meet amazing founders on Seedlegals. And today I'm talking to Yasamin from ReAlign, an app that helps with scoliosis. And you're probably wondering, what is scoliosis? So, Yasamin, over to you.
My name is Yasamin, and I am trying to solve the adherence problem with scoliosis. Now, you might not know what scoliosis is. It is the curvature of the spine, which affects between 2 to 12% of the population. That is millions of people. And most people, when they get diagnosed, they are kids, very young ages, which if they don't get it solved very quickly, they end up carrying it through adulthood and having to go through life-threatening treatments such as surgery and other types of treatments.
So that's amazing. I didn't know of scoliosis at all. It turns out it's much larger in the population. So is it curable, and what do people need to do to cure it? And how does ReAlign help with that process?
It is technically curable with physiotherapy, back brace, and different types of treatments. However, it is important to get it diagnosed early and get the treatment starting very early on, so you don't need to go through the surgery that fixes the large curvatures. But the problem with the current system is that because there are kids who are getting diagnosed, they don't end up doing these treatments. They don't do the physiotherapy, they don't wear their back brace, which causes the curve to get worse. And they end up having the life-threatening treatments and carry it through their adulthood.
Okay, so if you're a kid with some problem, you may get the ReAlign app, and then you'll learn whether it's something that's really is affecting you or not, and then you'll learn what to do about it going forward.
Yeah, if you get diagnosed or you've been diagnosed and you spoke to the doctors or you feel like you might have scoliosis, you can install this and you get to speak to others who have this condition, ask your questions, see if this is something that you feel like it will affect you. You can speak to an AI mental health assistant and ask your questions. And more importantly, it has a gamification system where you can track your exercises, kind of like Duolingo, gives you streaks, badges, leaderboard, and makes it fun and engaging for the users who are usually young, and helps them to increase adherence, because currently the adherence in scoliosis is 30%. That is a really low number for a treatment that affects them very seriously.
So it sounds like you're solving a really real problem here. And what got you out of bed one morning to go, I'm going to solve this problem? Tell me about your background.
Yeah, well, actually, I had scoliosis myself. I got diagnosed when I was 12, and I had to go through years of physiotherapy, every type of treatment I could find. Because the day that I got diagnosed, the doctor told me that I'm going to die because my ribs are crushing my heart and my lung. And I was super scared. And they said, but if you get the surgery, you might also die. Now, that is not the case anymore because technology advanced since then. But it was a very hard journey for me. I felt very alone. I was very depressed. And I didn't know anyone else who had this condition. But I started a TikTok account a while ago. And I started to talk about this problem of everything that I had to go through. And I started to get millions of views. And hundreds of kids messaged me, asking me for help, saying they just want someone to speak to. They just want someone to answer their questions. They feel demotivated. They feel depressed as well. That is when I realized it wasn't a me problem. It's actually a very big problem that is affecting a lot of people.
Amazing. Okay, so what stage is the app at, and what stage is the company at right now?
So the app for the patients is in beta testing. We have a good number of testers using it daily, up to 20 to 60 minutes a day. All of the features are almost finished. We're just going through the last security checks and regulations. And we are fundraising currently for a pre-seed round because we want to use the data that we're getting from the patients to build an EHR platform for the doctors who are dealing with this condition. So they get real-time data from their patients and get them through an AI engine that will increase adherence for their patients and reduce dropout for the doctors and save them hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, because that is a problem for them as well.
All right, so you're on your fundraising journey. What advice do you have for people in a similar position as you?
I am still fundraising. I haven't closed my round yet. However, for people who are just starting off, just had an idea or thinking about starting off, my biggest advice is to just go for it. Just start it. Just start building, start talking to people, share your idea, try to gather as much information as you can, do your research, but do not postpone it for when you're done with your university, done with your grad scheme, done with this job, because it's no better time to start than now. The older that you get, it's harder it gets to take a risk. So now is the best time to take the risk and take the leap and just start. Especially as female founders, we are told a lot to be careful what you're doing and try to look after your image. And it's harder for us to be confident and speak to people and go out there and put our ideas out. But I genuinely think that everyone should try building their own business once just to see if it works. You never know when you're going to build something big, you're going to have the best idea. And you can always go back to what you're doing now.
So that sounds like awesome advice. Now, have you got a co-founder?
Yes.
And how do you find a co-founder? Because that's one of life's biggest difficulties for a founder.
Yes. I have a co-founder. His name is George. I met him in university. We were very good friends all throughout university. And I think one of the important lessons on finding a co-founder is having shared values and goals, especially about the company. So something that I share with my co-founder is our love to help others and make an impact in the world. Because none of us want to end up in our later stages of life and never done anything to help the world. So this was where we connected. And when I shared the idea with him, he really wanted to help out, co-founder or not. And I think you should find people that share the goal and value, because you can learn everything. You can learn sales, programming, AI and everything. You can help out, find others who would help, but you cannot find people who would be there for you and follow the vision.
I love that thinking because, all founders have this problem with finding a co-founder. I think one of the other things that I could add is to find a co-founder that complements your skills. So, I think you need 3 roles in a company. Number 1 is the person whose idea it was, in your case, scoliosis, app, fixed problem, but you also need someone to deliver it.
Yeah.
And that's usually the CTO role. And then you also need a role of CFO, someone to make it a vibrant, growing business, which makes money and so on. And of course, you now look within and you see which one or more of these am I, and you then may surround yourself with one and sometimes more than one person. And sometimes you, of course, cover more than one of these roles.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It is different for everyone. Everyone's on their different journey. But you just have to, as you said, complement each other and fill out all the different roles. I genuinely think anyone can learn anything if they genuinely want to. YouTube is out there. You don't need to pay a lot for courses online and webinars. But I say just take the risk and start, and you'll find your way as you go.
So I'm guessing scoliosis is just the start. You're planning others. Tell me a bit more.
Yeah, so scoliosis is just the start, because as soon as I started to build this and talk about this to clinics, to people, I realized that there are loads of conditions out in the world where they do not get the support that they need. In my opinion, the healthcare system is a little bit broken for the conditions that are not as obvious or as well known as the others, but millions of people are dealing with this. So we're hoping to build the same application for many different rare, small or big conditions, and build the EHR system for all of the clinics out there and become the next healthcare unicorn in the world very soon.
It sounds like not only a great business, but an amazing app to help large numbers of people. So you can find out more at wearerealign.com. And how can people find you on LinkedIn and elsewhere?
Well, LinkedIn is just my name, Yasamin Kardar. And if you want to look at ReAlign, ReAlign is also, and if you are an investor or a clinic and you would like to look at our other website, wearerealign.se is also another tool that you can use to check out more information.
All right, Yasamin, I thank you so much for sharing the story behind ReAlign. The mission you're on sounds amazing, and anyone watching this should immediately get in contact with you to learn more.
Thank you so much, Anthony. I really appreciate being here.